All right, episode 5, 7 Curto. Cam here, Rye there. No Brandon this week. He ditched us for the best for him.
I was gonna say he knows what's good for him.
Yeah, he's at the beach right now. I'd rather be there too. We were watching the game. It just ended, so another loss. With
5 in a row, buddy. 5 in a row.
Well, no, is that 5 in a row?
Or five series in a row.
5 series in a row. Yeah. I mean,
let me just quickly jump in here though and explain this here, guys.
God.
I went black suit tonight. I went black suit, black tie. It's a funeral.
Yeah,
it's a
honestly,
funeral.
I mean, it's as boring. And
we're dead. We're dead.
It's just you can't watch it.
This is Pac-Man is out of dots. He got eaten by a ghost. He's dead. We're dead.
My God.
We're dead. It's over. It's over. This is just re-emphasizing the whole. It doesn't matter how big our lead is in the division. Blah, blah, blah.
I mean,
we're not beating Houston. We're not beating LA. I hate to say this. We're about to get smacked early next week against the crosstown rivals.
Yeah,
we're going to get smacked. This is all to come, all the talk.
Yeah.
But listen, if you guys were looking for like a pick-me-up, or you were looking for those Yankee fans that are saying like, well, we have a 10-game lead, no worries. This ain't the outlet, because I ain't feeling that.
I mean, I'm closer to that. I mean, it's not no worries though. It's. I mean, anytime your team is playing this bad, it's just
for this long,
I'm just
dude.
Like down
for this
right
long,
now, man. I can't watch them. They're so bad. They don't do the offenses. It's not. We talked about this last week. We'll jump into it. I got the poll up right now. So the first one there is just obviously.
I mean, there's only one thing to really talk about. There's only one thing to really talk about.
Yeah. So again. The way they started this year, unbelievable, obviously, and there's always going to be a rut. There's a regression of the means to some extent, but that's supposed to be playing like 500 ball for a month, maybe. I mean, this is
bad,
and
bad.
This is we just watched them lose again, so this is like fresh emotion here, but. I just sound like I sounded all 2021, and it's really sad because I hate to be back there, but
why
they are. You can't watch them.
That is why
you can't.
If you're going to sit here as a Yankee fan and you're going to try to preach, because I hear this on the radio all day too. They're like, Yankee fans need to calm down. You have a 10-game lead. I get that.
Yeah, that is valid.
I understand that. I'm not stupid. I get that, but. This is just a repeat of and unfortunately, I hate to call his name out like this because I don't necessarily know if he's the guy that needs to have the head cut off the snake, so to speak here. But this is sort of Boone's thing here. He's going to come out in the regular season. So he's going to come out in the regular season. He's going to win 100 games, 92 games. He had 400 career wins. Congrats to Aaron Boone. But
yeah,
who cares?
Again, that
who
one's
really
on
cares?
Here. We'll start with just. So we did panic meter last. You said you were a 9 last time.
No. I said I was a 9.5.
Yeah. So I said I was a 5. Brand said he was a 4. Brand just texted. I said he's up to a 6. So I'm again, panic is a weird word because
it's not.
They're making
panic.
the playoffs.
But
they're gonna make the playoffs. No,
it's not panic about are we gonna make the playoffs. That's not the panic. Half the league makes the playoffs now. Baltimore's gonna make the playoffs. That's not the fear. The fear is, can you actually do something? Yeah. And watching the last 50 days, no.
Yeah, okay. So readjusting the meter purely on will they do something, aka can they beat the best of the best? I mean, looking at this right now, obviously they can't. But
on any given day,
baseball,
here's Brandon. Right here's Brandon. On any given day, anybody can beat anybody. But right now. Dude, the Bridgeport Bluefish beat the Yankees right now.
It's brutal, and they don't even exist.
The Hartford Yard Goats beat the Yankees right now.
Don't talk about my goats.
The goats, baby, the goats.
Yeah, so this has been. I mean, anybody.
And you and Brandon last week were talking about well, wait till the lineup gets healthy. You really think that's really all this is right now?
No,
just the lineup needing to get healthy.
It's huge to have. I mean, this lineup today. Let me pull up the lineup today. It's a disgusting lineup. I'm looking at it just like, oh my god. Even what was it? Gleyber leading off, terrible. You got Judge and Rizzo. All right, I like that. Even though, and we won't delve into any individual here right now too deep, but Judge and Rizzo is by far the strongest presence there. Rizzo's hitting 220. I know where you're going. I like the production and all that, but 220, let's do a little better.
That's new era baseball, everybody. That's new era baseball. That's why everybody hates IKF. because he's got no pop, but even though he'll hit 2
We'll
ways. So
cover that one later
listen, guys,
too,
listen. I got to be honest. If you were hoping for some sort of positivity, there ain't much positivity right now.
Just
you clicked on the wrong channel right
it's
now.
It's impossible.
This
to do
is
that.
this is a. If you want to wallow in your own sorrows here, then welcome. Okay, that's why I'm in all
right,
black
hold on.
tonight. That's why I'm in a black suit here.
Let me just go over, and like this is really important that there's no DJ. Stanton. That's huge. But Gleyber leading off. Well, let me just go over the names, and I'm gonna come back to Gleyber because I actually kind of want to talk about Gleyber. But Gleyber leading off, he stinks right now. Judge Rizzo, good. Donaldson 4 stinks. Trevino, I like Trevino. He should be hitting 8 or 9. He's hitting 5.
7, 8, 9 is where Trevino hits.
All right, Benintendi 6. No problem.
See,
there.
Benintendi should be higher in the lineup on a night like
7,
tonight.
8, 9. You got Andahar. Andahar stinks,
I can't
man.
say anything bad about
IKF and
Andahar. He's
Marwin
not the
stinks.
reason here.
I mean,
He's not the problem here. Andahar,
well, he's not helping.
Well, Andujar's had how many at bats right now? How many games has he played? You can't.
How many at bats does he have? Like 30 this year.
You can't talk about Andujar as if he's the problem right now.
I'm not saying he's the problem. I'm saying this lineup. I'm looking at this lineup, and this is day in and day out now. Every lineup that comes out, you just cringe because you're missing the two biggest guys behind Judge are DJ and Stanton, and neither of them are playing. And now suddenly this lineup that was a juggernaut is just an absolute barren
I joked about you. I joked about
nothing.
this about a week ago. I joked about this with you, and you booed me over it. It's the curse of Joey Gallo.
Yeah, I mean,
have you seen
I'm
what he's doing?
You credit because you actually coined that. I'm starting to see that now on like Twitter and stuff, but.
Have you seen what he's doing in LA? He's hitting hitting like 270.
Right, he's got like 6 hits there, and 2 of them are off position players. So he's
saying,
really.
I'm just saying. But no, you can't pull names out like Andahar. What you can do is you could say Gleyber, wake up. You could say Gleyber, wake up.
Let's talk about Gleyber a little bit. I've never been a Gleyber hater. I like Gleyber. I like him a lot. He's fun. He's the young, fun energy on the team.
Time out really quick. I don't mean to cut you off, but we're watching post game right now. Aaron Boone meets the media. Does he even need to? I know what he's going to say.
I don't know.
I know what we're going to hear. The team stinks, dude. Right. They stink. Starting pitching's okay. Other than that, they stink.
I'm getting about done with Gleyber, honestly. And I was on the camp coming into this season. I wouldn't have been ecstatic, but I was on team trade him out of here, open up second base completely for DJ, and that it relieves a bunch of the oddness of our infield with that, coming into this year, it was like, who's going to play third and second? You got 2 third basemen with DJ.
Hold on, I thought you were with Brandon on the whole save the farm thing. Like, you didn't want to give a Gleyber up for a guy like a Luis Castillo. You didn't want to give a Gleyber up in a deal for...
I would have done that, absolutely.
You would have done that 100%.
That's not a farm. He's a major league player.
No. Right. But Gleyber was going to be a part of a package deal there.
I would absolutely.
And you guys were no, hold on.
That does nothing but free up the team and make things easier and make.
This is actually
DJ, you're playing second now.
This is going to bring up a point I'm going to come back to after we talk Gleyber here for a minute, because I mentioned this again about a week ago, and you guys kind of scoffed at it, but I think it's worth revisiting. But we'll get to that after Gleyber, because Gleyber, unfortunately. He's a logjam. He logjams the infield.
He's like a ball player. He's not really great at anything. And
no, but meaning on our roster, when they locked up DJ, granted, they locked up DJ when they thought Gleyber was going to be the shortstop, and that didn't happen. That didn't pan out. But, he now jams up the infield, because DJ should be playing second. You should have somebody else should be playing third.
Yeah, I mean, Donaldson's its own problem, but he should be playing third, and then it makes things simple. You don't have this rotisserie chicken infield of everyone's playing all over the place and no one knows what the hell's going on. I'm in a bad mood right now. I'm not even.
Who's in a good mood right now? I'm going to tell you right now.
I don't want to talk about.
I'm going to tell you right now. If you're a Yankee fan right now and you're in a good mood,
no one's in a good mood.
Then you have a P for a brain.
No, well,
you don't know what you're looking at, because again, for the millionth time, if I have to listen to somebody else tell me, but they're gonna win the division. Yeah, okay, I get that. I understand that. But again, winning the division at this point, I don't care about that anymore. I care about the bigger picture. For 5 years now, we've been watching this crop, this team.
Yeah, they're just failing.
And they're just...
And here, what became apparent, which is really unfortunate, is...
The suit's also way too small on me, I'm realizing right now.
What's really unfortunate is the start of this season was like the magical run, like, oh my, the great vibes are back. It was 2017 end of the year vibes of like, okay, this team is for real. This level of regression, because again, what I just said at the start of this, like the level of regression everybody was expecting was some 500 ball for a while, because that's just okay.
We're not even close to that right now.
So what I'm saying is this level of terrible that they're at right now, you know, from the start of 2020 through 2021 and now until now, this is the same team, man. Like they had an amazing run. They had an amazing run to start this year, and it felt great. But this level of a trot, they are, there's no other word than disgrace with how bad they are right now.
I think they said at one point a couple of days ago, the only team that was worse than them over like the last 15 days or whatever.
Tigers or something?
Yeah, it was the only team. It's like, dude, they're the worst team in the league.
What are we doing? Lost 11-13, and you scored one run in 4 days?
Well, we haven't even really touched on
and the run they scored was like a ground. Like,
we haven't really even touched on that. So they've now, because we just watched them lose here again. So they scored one run tonight. Then they got shut out the 2 nights prior. And then what did they score the night before that? 2?
Bro, it's crazy. I mean, it's as bad as spell. And what's killing me now is I was miserable all last year watching them play. Our group chat hated me.
You're right back to it, though.
I was vocal about it every day. It was like, at least at this point, I'm not even talking about it in the group because they just, it is what it is.
Well, we're also nobody knows. We're also in a group now with a couple of Met fans, and that's brutal because
they don't even absolutely.
They don't even say much. They don't even say much, but they're relishing in the fact that they're off to the races and we're scuffling.
We'll cap this. I mean, the quick panic meter here is we're pretty panicked right now with this team beating like serious contenders. And I know we're judging that based off line. Like, this is not a playoff lineup, obviously. But if G comes back.
I was just going to say, you and Brandon keep talking about like, well, when G gets back, when this person gets back. Listen,
I trust him in October.
I like G.
I trust him in October.
I like Giancarlo.
He'll get it done in October.
I like Giancarlo a lot. I think I said this in the first episode. The way he took the boo bird and then bounced back. I like him. But let's not act like he's gonna automatically come back and hit. We've seen him go through spells where he's swinging at stuff that's in the left-handed batter's box.
We're talking now again though. October is our panic meet. That's what we're based on. He's gonna hit in October. I would say he's gonna hit some bombs in October. His postseason numbers. I trust that. So
that's if he can get back on the field and healthy.
He will.
Because in October he also played a day, then sat for a game.
That was brutal. That was 2019.
So, it's not a shoo-in. It's not a guarantee here.
This better not be that. But all right, so we'll move on from here. He's panicked.
I'm going to stick with a 9.5. Here's why I'm not going up to a full-blown 10 or 11 here.
Game lead, and they're gonna get the shot.
Because listen, and there is one semi-positive here, and it is the starting pitching.
Yeah, the pitching is great.
For as little as the team offense is producing, the pitching is holding up its end of the bargain. I mean, these aren't 8-0 losses. These are like 2 or 3-0 losses here.
Well, I'll say
the starting pitching is showing up.
I'll say I think it's harder to watch a team if they were losing these games and the pitching was the side that was faltering but the offense was hitting. So let's say instead of all of these 1-0, 3-1, 2-0 losses that we have right now, if instead they were 7-5 loss, 8-4, 7-6, you know what I mean? Like if the offense is scoring, it's easier to watch that because at least when you're watching the game, you're like, all right, we're hitting, we'll have a shot. Maybe if we can hold.
I agree.
When the offense, they hit a 3-run Rosarena.
Game's over.
It's over. Game's over. You know they're not scoring, and that is scary. That's the panic level of this. This is against everybody we're facing right now, and you got to keep going back to. I know the lineup is not what it's going to be in October, but when you're facing the cream of the crop, when you're facing these Astros who all these guys are just good, and you go down 2-3-4 when Cole has his patented 3-run homer in the second inning and you're chasing 4.
You got to be able to fight back. And right now they can't.
This team is just, I'm not going to completely implode though, because it is August. It's August, so
no. You know what I see?
Show me something.
Again.
Wake up.
I went.
Go.
Black suit, black tie tonight. It's a funeral. It's a funeral.
It is, yo.
And
I sold the tickets tonight.
Again,
I said I'm not going.
It's not a regular season funeral. It is a funeral in the sense that this team ain't winning it.
Yeah, I think you have to save that for if they're playing this bad with DJ and G in the lineup. If they're if those two guys are in the lineup, yes, they make that. They do make a difference.
Obviously, they make a difference. You're telling me they make enough of a difference where the team can't score.
Yes, but right. I mean,
they can't score a run.
I know, because look at this lineup, dude. It's garbage. But when you put DJ has a 400 on base, so he walks, and G hits a homer.
So then DJ's the MVP.
You win these games.
So then DJ's the MVP.
He's of the team, other than Judge. He actually is. Yes.
I'm not denying the fact that these two guys obviously helped the lineup. Again, I don't have a rock for a brain. I understand that, but. This is beyond. It's beyond two names. This is beyond just two guys coming back and boom, the thing is fixed.
Well, let's go now. So the second one on here is what's up with Hicks. I mean, I'll play. Would he? If his glove isn't solid, and that play he did in center where he's doing 360s in the, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, but you know what everybody's going to say now, and this actually I do want to ask you about something because I got an answer to you a week ago, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, I don't remember.
Go.
But this is going to now open the window for people to say, hey, this is why you got Bader. Which okay, fine. But
that's what Brandon was saying.
Bader might play for half of September, maybe.
Again, well, we're all right. Let's. Our focus is October,
right?
So he's playing in October. Hicks ain't playing in October.
But you're going to get a guy that comes back first in October. He better come back at the end of the regular season first.
September,
get some reps in here.
Let's see what Bader's.
But here's my question. And I honestly, I think there is some stock in this, and this is why I brought the question up when the Montgomery trade went down. And this was my question. Maybe I didn't phrase it as well as I should have. I said, do you guys put any stock in the fact of like disrupting a clubhouse to the point where it throws everybody off a little bit, and that can play a role in why there's a downturn here? Mm-hmm. And my question is this: like, Montgomery's a homegrown guy who, sure, he's not Verlander, he's not DeGrom, he's not Cole, but he is a reliable arm who was homegrown, who can pitch in New York.
Back to
and at the last second, they trade him away.
Yeah, obviously
that had to, even maybe to a guy like Judge, you go, wow, here was a homegrown guy who they shipped out for what? For a guy in a walking. I don't get it. That has to play a role in the clubhouse of, we were this tight-knit group. Now they just sold a guy off last second at the stroke of midnight here for seemingly not much now.
It doesn't help.
It can't help.
But obviously, dude, when they're playing this bad right now, you know, we're going to be bringing up any and everything possible.
Absolutely.
You're going to bring up the curse of Joey Gallo, and you're going to bring up
Joey Gallo
because all of it's valid because they're playing as bad as we've seen them.
And the Dodgers are playing better than ever. They're like undefeated since they got Gallo.
Well, here's something that just plays into Hicks with everything else is, and I'm really getting to this point too, and you know we'll talk IKF a little bit because someone had a comment about IKF, but you know I'm really getting to the point where this team does need a spark, and we're just stuck with this team where like you can't send a Hicks down, you can't do that. I would love to, and I'm not even a Florial guy. I'm not a big Florial fan. I don't. A lot of people say
you got to get some young reps in. You got to get some young reps.
What
100%.
hurts us by just sticking? He's a lefty bat. Throw him in center field. See, he can't be worse than a guy who's 5 for his last 56, and now suddenly, I mean, Hicks didn't lose his glove. Like, all right, it's a tough play. It wasn't a tough play, but he made a mistake out in the outfield. You're allowed to do that, once
but when it coincides with you hitting, 208 and you got no pop and you got 32 RBIs and
he's got to go, but there's nowhere for him to go, so he's not going anywhere, and that's I'm really starting to agree with now. It's getting really tiresome with like we have life in the minors and. Yeah, dude.
Give him a look.
These guys are hitting in the minors.
Now,
give him a couple weeks.
I would wonder this because you mentioned IKF's name. I'm not that. Yeah, Florial's a guy who should be getting looks because, like you said, maybe his name isn't at the top of the list like a Peraza or a Volpe, but Hicks stinks. And Giancarlo's hurt. Carpenter's hurt. Bader's hurt. So, like, you're looking for outfield depth. Go bring up a Florial. See if he can produce. He cannot be worse than Hicks. I agree.
Would you, and I know the Yankees wouldn't do this because LeCastro is just like the pinch run guy, but would you send LeCastro down and bring up Florial and then just have Florial play center?
Would I send LeCastro? Yeah.
That's like the only option to bring up a Florial, I think.
Yeah, I would. 100%. Now, here's another thing, because you mentioned IKF's name.
Yeah.
I wonder about the people who bitch about IKF.
Mm-hmm.
They also had to be bitching about Gallo, right? Of course, because who didn't bitch about Gallo? So here's my question. So you don't like Gallo because all he does is swing and miss.
Right. Well,
you
here
don't
we
like
go.
IKF.
We had this one last week. We did
because
have
he was
this one
bad on
last
ball.
week, though. Yeah, we're not going to do the whole IKF thing again because we covered that for a while.
Let's also call a spade. In this rut right now, who was not pumped up at the other night in Fenway when he's laying down a safety squeeze to put a run across?
And I even saw some guy, like, this is why I kind of wish we were like recording when that game was going on. But I swear to God, I'm too far on the end of small ball, and you're kind of close to it as well. But like, whenever I see
further than you are,
if I
want
see a
everybody
guy.
to bunt.
Anytime there's a guy with decent speed on third and anybody other than like Judge essentially at the plate, I'm calling for the squeeze like every time.
Well,
and then
so
they
I
put
think
it down and people were like, "Oh my God, of course you squeeze there."
Listen, I think in this era of baseball, I think it is very telling that you had a guy like Boone calling for a squeeze, and then
it's telling where the team's at.
And then what was it? Was it last night? They bunted twice in a row.
Yeah. And
so I think in an era where God forbid you give up the out, because the analytical world says you should never give up the out, you should never bunt the baseball, even though the sport was designed in certain instances to bunt. When Boone does it, you know they're feeling the pressure. You know it.
Another thing I'm not going to fully dive into because I could talk forever about it, and most people probably disagree with me, but even the other day, I think Benintendi put a bunt down. It's like not a great bunt, but pitchers just don't like feel bunts that often. The pitcher runs over, bobbles the ball. Something happens, man. Like,
force him to make a play.
Here's my point of this has always been. I had a rant, by the way, that was spot on. I'll come to that.
Self-proclaimed spot on
it
rant.
was incredible. If anybody remembers Blake Snell, Game 6 of the World Series 2020, I called.
Well, they pulled him out with like 70 pitches.
I called almost his exact line like 2 weeks before. Like, I'll pat myself on the back. I'll put that one up on the screen probably as I'm saying this right now, although it's a lot to read, so maybe not. But the reason the analytics stuff kills me isn't because it doesn't work. They do work. You know what I mean? That's why all these teams follow them to a T. The reason the analytics kill me is because they make the game so boring
analytics
and ugly.
Analytics are stupid.
Game.
They're stupid, period.
When guys
over.
are squeezing, stealing, hitting, running, just bunting in general, playing some knock the ball down and run like IKF, that is so much more fun to watch than the world of not doing any of that. Like,
here's what analytics
obvious.
do. Analytics basically just say, hey, you've been playing the sport for 150 years the wrong way. So I wonder what analytics would do with a team like the 1998 Yankees, who are considered one of the best teams ever, who had zero players hit 30 homers. Zero. The analytical world would be like, wow, you don't produce that much. You don't have that much pop on your team. We gotta switch this up. Like, what are you talking about? They're one of the best teams of all time.
This is what got me so mad too, and this is why I made like a Twitter account, which I haven't used yet. But people were killing IK. Every time the dude grounded out, I'd go on, I'd refresh my Twitter, and people would post it like they'd have quote contact hitter, but the contact is this. Like, it infuriates me. And then I saw people literally using the WRC runs created. No. And you know what? I can't imagine doing something more damning for your stat than what these people did, which is that if you put Joey Gallo's Yankee season up to IKF and they had the same runs created plus, if that doesn't prove to you that stat is a joke, you're lying to yourself.
I like this one.
That clearly shows that homer is way over that. Like, yes, homers are great, obviously, but if you're hitting 159, you stink. I don't want you on my team.
So I went
it's
to.
That simple.
I was talking to, and I apologize, my boys in my Yankee group chat. I forgot who sent this stat, but I actually called them out because it was about Hicks, and the stat was the the WPA. What was that one?
I don't know.
The wins weighted win percentage of something. So
No,
he sends this.
no.
He sends. I forgot who it was, and I apologize, boys. I forgot who sent it.
just
Sean,
ranting
I don't
right
know if
now.
it was. Yeah, of course. How could you not when the team is like this? Sean, I don't know if it was you. T, I don't remember. But I said, why do I need that stat? Here's how I know Hicks stinks. He's hitting .218 with 6 homers and 30 RBIs.
Right.
I don't need your analytical stats. I can go back to the way that the sport has been gauged for 150 years, and I can tell you the guy stinks. I don't need your WPA. I don't need your WRC plus, your FIPA, your FOPA, your FUPA. I don't need any of that.
It's just where the game's at.
Man,
how much is Boone to blame?
How much is Boone to blame? I got to be honest right now. I don't know if he's that much to blame.
He's not that much to blame.
I think I fall in the category of again. This falls into the analytical world.
He ain't even calling the shots.
He's not even
dude.
calling the shots.
He ain't
dude.
making these lineups.
So these lineups are all predetermined. All this shit is predetermined. And to be honest, he's not the one sending a Montgomery out for a hurt Bader. He's not the one that's
Again, in hindsight, that might end up being a good move, but we'll see.
Again, in hindsight's 2020. Of course, it might be a good move for next year, but.
No, for the playoffs because we won't have to watch
you
Hicks
and Brandon are like cut from the same cloth in this in a lot of ways. Like Brandon, and I know you didn't agree with this.
Move.
No, but I know you didn't agree with this as well. But Brandon just like assumes that Sevy's going to come back and pitch and be effective. You have no idea. You have no idea what Bader's going to do this year. You have no clue.
Yeah, I blaming Boone. I mean, people coming at Boone. Obviously, people are going to come at Boone. Whenever a team's this bad, you go at the manager.
I don't listen. I don't love Boone because again, for years now, it just seems like his thing is I'm going to go out and win 100 games in the regular season, which is a feat, of course. But then I'm not going to deliver in the postseason. I'm not going to cross that finish line in the postseason. I'm not even going to get to the home stretch in the postseason. So I coined this term actually years ago. I think it was after 2018. It was rather pessimistic of me in 2018. I called this
the dynasty
team,
that never was.
The dynasty that never was.
I mean, we're about
because
there.
In 2017, it was look at these kids, this homegrown, the new core
Dude, the
four.
baby bombers are nothing.
The
baby bombers are nothing. Judge is the only one.
The dynasty that never was, because in 2017, it looked like, here we go again. And forget about multiple rings. We haven't even had a shot at one.
This isn't Boone's fault, but this is something that's really starting to frustrate the hell out of me too. And again, we touched on this, but just like there's no path right now for the young guys to come up and ply their trade in the MLB and just see if they can. But someone had a point of what I just said. The baby bombers. Every one of those guys got botched or just didn't really fulfill the potential that they showed early on, other than Judge, as I just said. And you could say Sevy, but the guy has not had a healthy season in 4 years. So that's a tough one to say.
Listen, being on the field is a big part of it. No, you can't say Sevy, even though, he has the arm. He does perform when he's there, but he's not there that often. He's just not.
What I'm going to say, though, is it just seems the way everything works right now with this team and this organization, it's like it's not fluid, it's not natural, and it's someone said of like the core 4 crop right now going through the minors, right now they'd have found a way to mess up half those guys. You know what I mean? Like there was somehow Jorge would have been he'd have come up in 95 and they'd have sent him back down in 96 and then he'd have played 2 months in 97. Like
I think Ugg sent us a text earlier saying if the current Yankees right now had Babe Ruth coming up through their system, they'd find a way to fuck him up too.
Yeah, dude, and it's like I kind of feel that because and we said with the recent guys though, I was a big Clint Frazier believer.
Oh, they screwed him up.
I know the concussion stuff, but
they screwed him up.
Dude, what they did to him last year too, of just very simply like all I would have done is Clint, you're playing left field and you're hitting 9 for 2 months. Don't worry about anything. You got 2 months to go play.
They gave him a week, and then he was already on the bench.
They basically said that to him. They didn't even give him a week. I think it was like the 3rd game of the year,
and he was on the bench.
Like, what are you doing?
I got no ill will.
For what?
I know the jury's out in Yankee world about Brett Gardner and what he was, and if you like him or don't like him. I love the Jet. I got no problem with him, but he should not have logged 130 games when you had Clint Frazier sitting there. He shouldn't have done it. There's no way. And then you have a guy like, a guy like Andujar. A guy like Andujar.
Andujar
deserves more burn than what he's got.
Fucked up.
He deserves more play time than what he's gotten. He's shown he can hit at the big league level.
Although
he should have won
dead
Rookie
now.
of the
I
Year.
disagree. I don't want him in the lineup now. He
But
looks
again,
like a piece of. He looks like a
whose-
garbage man. Now. You
whose
saw
fault
that
is
swing
that?
he took on his last K was
whose fault is
ridiculous.
that? I blame their treatment of him.
it is the
And it goes
Yanks.
back to things like, listen, this goes back a long time now. They messed up guys like Jabba Chamberlain.
That's like the
That-
inception
right,
of
right.
just overdoing.
It goes way back
And
now.
I get I tend to find a way to blame analytics for everything. Analytics kind of blamed all this stuff with like
Pitch counts and
certain rest days, and nobody can play this amount of
Well,
times.
he threw
in a
70
row,
pitches,
and
but a lot of them were high stress pitch. It's like, dude, oh my
everything.
God, just play.
I'm getting
just play.
tired of all
Just
of this,
play,
and it's
please.
the sport, man. And I love baseball. Baseball could turn into an absolute catastrophe. Disgusting, most boring game of all time, and I'll still watch it every day because I'm a loser.
Taylor
like
sent,
it's getting tiring.
Taylor
man.
sent the other day. He goes, "I wish I had the willpower sometimes
to just not,
watch this
to not
team,
even care."
But I agreed. I was like, I feel
Killing
that
me.
so 100% spot. You're so spot on there. I can't not watch the games.
I know. Well,
I can't.
because what else? What else am I gonna watch? I don't watch anything on TV other than
We were
baseball.
born into this. We were raised with this. This is just what I know. So it kills me to have to sit here. You're gonna have to label this one, episode 5, like
Depression?
Yeah, depression. Right? Like you're gonna have to label it that because this has just been one epic negativity rant.
Yeah.
But again,
They'll come back and they'll play better, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, but again, it's not about that right now because this has proven that I said it last week. No matter how much makeup you put on this team is still the team that can go out and lay eggs for 3 days straight.
Yeah. Last one, then we'll do a couple comments, and we'll jump out of here. But Chapman versus Clay, I'll start real quick. I am the biggest Chapman hater that I know.
There's a butt coming.
And Chapman should be pitching the 9th right now.
There you go.
Pretty simple.
I don't know if I have any input on that because I got to be honest. That's just, to me, that's just another one of the biggest concerns here. Like,
Yeah.
Flip a coin, pick a name. Do you trust either of them?
I can't even believe I said that, though, because I cannot stand him.
Flip a coin, pick a name. Do you trust either? No.
No. Whoa. Clay,
No.
Clay, why did you have to just... Which goes back to the closing rules, the most fickle thing in the history
But it
of
goes back
sports.
to what? It goes back to what?
What, Mo? Like, you can't even mention Mo's.
There was a question. So there was a question. I was scrolling through social media, and this guy standing outside was asking Met fans if they'd rather have Jacob deGrom or Mariano for a career. And
a good question.
The Met fan goes deGrom.
Gotta be Mo.
And I'm like,
Actually, what? It's
watching
not even
this.
close.
No, I'm like watching this. If I know for a fact I could play 8-inning games, I'm
Dude,
playing
it's
8-inning
absolutely
games.
Mo.
It's Mo.
Mo did it for 20 years. DeGrom is...
Right, but it just went to show that, like, the idea of having a lockdown ninth inning guy where you could just go, oh, game's over, that cannot be...
Answer the question. Tomorrow, let's say it's 1-0 in the 9th. Yanks up. Who do you want getting the ball?
I don't want
Pick, you
either.
gotta pick. Who's it gonna be?
I want
Loizaga?
Efros.
Seriously? That's actually your answer?
He came in, I think it wasn't in Boston, and actually looked okay. So you're going with the hot hand
I think
right
he
now.
had 2 guys get on
So
him,
you're going with the hot hand right now.
that's
He didn't
the
give up a
hot
run.
hand, a guy
He didn't
who
give
let
up a
2
run.
guys on.
No, the hot hand. The hot hand
hand's
would be
Chapman.
Chapman.
Yeah.
The hot hand would be Chapman.
God, I can't trust that guy. If I cannot... when October comes around and Chapman's
I don't trust
in the
Chapman as
9th,
far as I could throw him, and with how big as he is, I can't even lift him up. So
yeah, dude,
I don't trust him at all.
It's another thing. Oh my God! All right, we need to I want to stop talking, but we got 2 more people on here.
No, sometimes this is healthy to get this negativity out of your system.
Because I haven't been texting really that much because I'm just tired. Like I say the same things. Oh, they didn't score again.
Cam, I'm
like,
blacked
here's
out
another
tonight.
guy. I'm
black
gonna be
suit,
right
black
there
tie,
next
black
week,
shirt,
probably.
black pants. I'm
Because
blacked
dude,
out
the
tonight.
next time we do this is going to be we'll be watching. We'll be
Darth
watching
on the table with us. It's just
We'll be watching Scherzer shove against us the next time we're recording one of these. But all right, 2
and
things.
think about that. There's a chance that one of our Mets fans buddies joins us for the next one.
I don't even.
Oh, do you know what it's gonna be
I
like
don't
to
know if
sit
I can
here with
handle
him?
Frank right now because he's going to be so right. And he's gonna have and we've tortured them for so long.
Oh, and we deserve it.
I know.
We deserve it.
I'm a weak man though. I can dish out the pain, but I'm not ready for some ignorant ass Met fan. I mean, he's not even ignorant. It's just like it's fair.
Oh man.
All right. Luke McHugh said Kiner for left his first homer? Question mark. Just like talking
Question
about
mark.
it. No, not question mark, exclamation mark. Like,
I don't know why.
should talk about it.
I don't know why people. Again, this goes back to the whole analytical
like
world.
showing him love here. That's not like
but no. What I'm about to say goes back to the whole analytical world. Like a guy called the radio today. I was listening. He was like, "IKF has one homer."
Shut the
so
fuck.
what?
Yo,
He also has 16 stolen bases. Is hitting in
He's
the
hitting
upper
270, and he's the 9 hitter,
and he's your 8 or 9 hitter.
Folks,
Stop.
I got news.
Stop.
He's the 9 hitter.
Oh my God! There's way bigger fish to fry.
doesn't need to be.
There's way bigger fish to fry than IKF.
He doesn't need to be hitting 320 with 30 homers. He's the 9 hitter.
Off the top of my head, I got 13 other issues that I got on this team than IKF. I'm not worried about.
He's at like. You know,
My
the
God.
hate he's gotten, and that I'm
don't
about to
get
start
it.
tweeting.
Yeah,
I'm about to start attacking
it.
people who start attacking him, because obviously, and then there's all the extra stuff with him. Obviously, that was people attacking his like family and stuff. You got to be an absolute piece of garbage for, and you also got to show how stupid you are that you're attacking your 9 hitter.
It goes into
270.
people are now programmed to look first at home runs.
He's your 9 hitter.
And decide if a player's good based on how much pop they have. When there's so much more to the game than that.
Seriously, yeah. Take your fucking
Again,
stats.
I go back to I wonder what people would be
Stop.
saying if you didn't tell people what the team was and you just gave the home run total for the 1998 Yankees. I bet you a lot of people today would just look at the home run total and go, "Oh, this team must have sucked."
What was their
Tino? I think Tino in '98, if I'm not
28 or
mistaken,
something?
had the most with like 27 or 28. And if you just gave people a home run column and said, "Here's the 1 through 9 hitter for an entire season,"
they'd look at
here's what they hit.
WRC and a bunch of other shit, which I'm like.
I'm saying if you just gave them the home run
had
column,
28, yeah.
they
He had
would
a
say
year, goddamn.
this probably wasn't that great of a team because people are programmed now that if you don't hit 40 homers, you stink.
Well, he had So he had an OPS plus of 124, which I'm pretty sure isn't that good. But you know what he did have? 28 homers and 123 RBIs, and
What'd
he
he
hit
hit?
280. That's a hell of a year.
If you tell me a guy hit 280 with 28 homers and how many RBIs?
Makes me sick. 123.
And how many runs did he score?
92.
Oh,
They got a
come
great
on.
year.
Come
Got a
on.
great year.
That's
Go
all- come
stop.
on.
Please stop. All right.
But again,
next one.
the point is, of course, we all know that was a great year. Of course it. But if you just look at the 28, people are going to go, oh, okay, some pop. Yeah, some pop. What are you talking about?
There's so much more to the game.
So much more to the game. Come on.
Like, open your eyes, guys.
Come
and it's
on.
also, let me tell you, the other things in the game are more fun to watch, too. Just newsflash for you.
Oh, man.
Guys busting out singles, going first to third, first to home. That's fun.
Listen,
That's fun to watch.
This was like a 40-minute rant. I feel good. I feel good. I got this off my chest.
We got one more here,
this
which
off
is,
my
what do you
chest.
think about the recent stretch? Should we be worried? We just said that.
Well, we spent 40 minutes talking
And then
about
should
that.
we be worried about DJ? I am not worried about DJ. I'm not worried. I think he'll be out longer than you want him to be, but I'm not worried about
I'm
him.
worried about DJ missing time. I'm not worried about him being able to come back and produce because he's the rare exception. I know I've been talking about like you can't expect Bader to produce. You can't expect guys like this to just come in, show up, boom, produce. Sevy, I don't know. DJ's the exception.
DJ just hits, man.
I have everlasting trust in DJ.
Yeah, he'll be all right. I think he'll be out. I mean, I hope just put him on the IL if he's going to be out for 2 weeks here, other than just lingering him around. Wait, like if anything, put him on the IL and pull up one of these guys. You know what I mean? Like do something. Give some reason to give some
me a
piece
spark
of life
here.
to this
Come
team.
on, Cash.
Because
people call for Boone.
We got
Cashman's the one putting the team together, man. Cashman's the one really saying, like, should we call him up? Should we not? Is he going to fit? Is he not? Is he da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da?
It's just brutal to be at the point where, like, they're playing so bad that you put them on and they do nothing but just make you, like, more frustrated, which is the opposite of why anybody's a sports fan.
Outside of 2017, because that was a miraculous, nobody thought it was going to happen, so you were just happy that you got there. Hindsight's 2020. Now you look back, you go, wait a second, you had to win 1 out of 2 games to go to the World Series. You didn't, you blew it. But in the time, you were like, since 2017, that's this team's MO, dude.
Yeah, no,
That's this
I don't
team's
disagree.
MO.
Again, that like kind of my takeaway point from this one, and they'll be better and we'll be happier. We won't be this miserable every time for anybody watching, but it's a little disheartening now to realize that we really haven't grown from 2021. We have, but it's still the same team and I know baseball just does this to everybody. Any team can kind of fall
Welcome, Cam.
apart.
You joined me.
But
you
dude,
joined
like
me.
the fact that this team,
Maybe it's because Brandon's not here tonight to give you that shroud of optimism.
he's pissed too right now. I know he's pissed. We'll see what he says.
Yeah,
next
but
week,
Brandon said he's out of sick. Well, again, hopefully next week the rhetoric is a little bit more like, okay, they've turned it around. Now all I need to question is, can they do it in October?
Right.
Hopefully the rhetoric still isn't, wow, they still haven't turned it around.
Let me. I'll just end on some optimism. They still can do it in October. Anything can happen. They can get hot. Cole can pitch a nine inning shutout.
Of course they can. Of course they can.
What you can't say anybody will. I hope they do. I don't know. We'll see what happens here.
You can't say that anybody will, but you can say that people won't.
I don't believe. There's just a lot that needs to happen here. We didn't even touch on like Donaldson. And we got Clay talking.
Like, why is Clay talking? Why is Clay talking?
There's a lot that has to happen. I mean, it can only get better. At least it can only
get
literally
better.
not.
They're at the worst it could possibly be. They're not scoring. They're losing every night. They're losing every series. It cannot get. Actually, it can get worse. Here's how it can get worse. If Toronto and Tampa, we're playing Tampa,
right,
then we play Toronto. If they just come in and sweep us,
right,
and keep
whoa, because the only thing, and I know you're
not getting your first round bye,
but the only thing here that really, and it should be keeping people from completely going off the deep end, is they do have a 10-game lead, and that does matter a lot. But bro, if you play like this much longer,
you ain't gonna have that 10-game lead.
They are. I don't know how they have a 10-game lead.
Well,
I don't know
because
how. It's because they're not taking advantage. You said that last
week. It's the one small silver lining.
That changes. Right. Don't let them be the teams that start playing a little better. Because if they start playing even a little better, and you keep doing this, that 10-game lead is going to disappear in 3 weeks.
as we get ready to wrap this up here, we're playing Tampa now. And we start with a series against Toronto immediately after. So now is the time. Like, this is about as bad of a moment that you could be going to play the AL East.
Do I go to the game on Thursday? I have tickets for Thursday as well.
You wanted to drop almost $200 a pop to go watch them in the Subway Series. Why would you pay right now to torment yourself like
tickets
that?
Tickets are basically free for the midweek. I'd go, I think, like...
Let me see them score some runs before let me see them have a heartbeat before I go spend money on to walk into a morgue.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. I'm dressed for a funeral.
It can only get better. So it will get better, and we'll talk about it when it does.
Seriously though, listen really quick. Listen to Clay right now. He sounds like he's giving a eulogy.
Well, this again, I don't know how. No one's going to be smiling.
Right. It's as bad as it could get. So if you run into a Yankee fan who's like smiling, don't worry,
they don't care. They don't care. The bottom line.
They don't care because if you're listening to this and you're like, wow, these guys sound really pissed off.
I know that,
or really depressed. Yeah, because we care. We love watching the team play. We love watching the team win. They haven't done it.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, this was depressing.
Yeah, this was definitely a sour one. So if this is your first taste, we're not always this sour, but man, if you've been watching a team, it's impossible not to be.
Yeah, it's real.
It's impossible.
If you care about the Yankees, if you actually care about the Yankees, you're just not in a good mood.
You're a miserable prick right now, is what you are.
All right. Well, we'll try again next week.
Hopefully next week it's not like this. Hopefully we're watching a good Subway Series game while we do this, and they're actually scoring and they're actually winning. That'd be awesome. Honestly, that'd be some good Novocaine for this past couple of month and a half now to go and win against the Mets.
Yeah, not much faith in that.
That'd be some good little pain-killing medication right there. So let's hope that happens next time we're on.
We'll see. Until next time, folks. Thanks for watching.